I kind of use my hands a lot, don't I? I've noticed this. After watching a few of my videos, I've just been sort of looking at myself and thinking, yeah, there's some things that you do that I've never noticed before. Like I say a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna make this, and I just, lots of this. Sorry about that, that's just me. Afternoon people, welcome to Adam's Eats. It's good to see you again. It's Friday, it's 5 PM. That means I'm going to make a video for you. Got a lovely little recipe for you today. This is kind of one of those midweek dishes, you know, you just put it in the oven, 40 minutes later or so, you've got dinner. You know, one tray, it's all done. And what it is, it's baked chicken, so I've got some chicken portions, and that's cooked along with some tomatoes, some new potatoes cut in half, bit of chicken stock, some white wine, bit of lemon juice, salt, pepper, all the usual, and it's covered with tin foil, baked, and then you've got dinner. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it. Super simple. So if you pop down here as usual, I'll show you the ingredients and we'll crack on with the first step. Alright, okay folks, here's the ingredients for the recipe. I'm going to put the quantities in the description down below, mainly because I'm trying to reduce the video sizes a little bit. I don't know, I think time-wise, I just think I prattle on too much. So I'm just going to try and, you know, squish the time down a bit in the video. So I'm going to put all that in the description below. You might like listening to me prattle on, I don't know. If that's the case, leave a comment. If you don't like listening to me prattle on, you'd rather I just get on with the flipping food, then obviously let me know about that as well. So yeah, that's what I've done. So just so you know, that's what's happening. So here we go, got some chicken, tomatoes, salt, pepper, some tarragon, some new potatoes here which we're going to cut in half, some white wine, chicken stock, and the juice of half a lemon. There's a fly there, get out of it. And also an extra glass of wine for me, so that's important. First thing we're going to do is brown these chicken portions here. And that's it. You can mix this up. I've got equal quantities of legs and thighs. You could use just all drumsticks, you could use thighs, you could use a whole chicken and portion it up, entirely up to you, but that's what I've got there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is brown our chicken pieces. I've also got a nice big, you know, wide baking tray here, because everything that we're cooking here is just all going to go in together and then in the oven. If you haven't got such a massive tray like that, you can probably split it between two smaller ones if you want to. But a nice big tray like that just makes it easier. So I've got my pan on the heat, medium to high heat. I'm just going to season up these chicken portions. Like so, a bit of salt and pepper. Bit of olive oil, I think. Just drizzle them with a little bit. Now you want to brown these, skin side down, until you get a nice golden brown colour all over the skin. If you don't do this part, what you're going to get is sort of flabby, anemic chicken when you pull it out of the oven. So the idea is you get a nice bit of colour on there to start with, and it finishes off in the oven. So we'll get those nice and browned. Don't overcrowd the pan as well. If you put too much in, it's just going to sweat down and stew, so you won't get that nice sort of brown colour. So do it in batches. Put the chicken in the pan, skin side up, and then we'll move on to the next step. Right, so I've browned my chicken pieces. Okay, just move this out of the way. Okay, that's the colour you want. Nice golden brown all over, just nice and crisp. So obviously place them in the pan skin side up. This is not going to waste. Okay, so what you want to do with this, all the bits left, a bit of oil, there's a bit of fat in there, all the chickeny bits. Take your wine, chuck that in. Just scrape some of that, all those bits off, like so, and then you want to put that in your pan. Don't put it over the top of the skin, just down the side. Okay, so that's all in there now, the chicken's ready. I'm going to have a bit of a clean up because fat's spat everywhere. I had to put my apron on. Lots of swearing was involved off camera as well, sorry folks. Okay, so we'll do that, we'll prep the potatoes. Preheat your oven now to gas mark 5. And then I'll move on to the next step. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our new potatoes, and you just want to cut them in half, lengthways, like so. And then you'll pop them in your pan, in and around the chicken, cut side down. Okay, there's a reason for that. What that does is when all that liquid comes out of the chicken, mixed with the wine and the chicken stock, they'll soak up into those potatoes and make them sticky and fudgy and delicious. So make sure you put them cut side down. Alright, there we go. I've done my potatoes, put them in the pan. That's what it should look like. So next thing I'm going to do is just add our chicken stock. Again, don't pour it over your chicken because you'll just soften the skin. You probably won't need to use all of it. I'm going to use that much, that'll be fine. But as it cooks, you might want to add a little bit more later on. So I'll probably put about 200 ml in there. Juice of half a lemon, and then a final seasoning, just a bit of salt and pepper, not too much. A teaspoon, something like that. Some freshly ground black pepper. Now what we're going to do is we'll cover that with tin foil and we'll bake that in the oven for around about 30 minutes, by which time the potatoes should be cooked, the chicken is pretty much cooked, and then we'll add the tomatoes in at that stage. So we'll do that and I'll see you in a minute. Okie doke. Right, so the chicken's been in for about sort of 30 minutes now, so we're going to take this out. Just remove the tin foil, get rid of that. Ouch. So as you can see, you know, you've started to make a bit of a sauce here. At the minute it's quite thin, so what we need to do is we need to reduce that down. So how we're going to do that is you want to move some of your potatoes and chicken up to the one side. Just move it out of the way. Now, I see I've got a mixture here. You can use just cherry tomatoes if you want. You can use whole, you know, sort of larger ones and cut them in half. I've just got a mixture. So I'm just going to chuck them in there. Got some on the vine, just sort of lay them in there as well. Okay, I've got some larger ones here, so what I'm going to do though is just cut those in half. Now another little tip for you as well, the stalks that you get from the vines, don't waste them. If you get the vine and just sort of rub it in your hand a bit, smell your hand, what does it smell of? Tomatoes, okay? Well, that's flavour in there, so if you just bruise it a bit, chuck that in as well, that'll add a nice little bit of flavour to the sauce. Right, so they're ready to go back in the oven now. Oh, one more thing, sorry, forgot. Now you want to just add your tarragon. Give it just a little bit of a tiny mix, don't need to go mad. So now you want to turn your oven up to gas mark 6 at this point, and you want to pop this back in the oven for around 20 to 30 minutes, depending on your oven of course, until that sauce is just nice and reduced and your tomatoes are nice and soft and blistered. Okay, so we'll come back in about 20-30 minutes and hopefully it should be ready. Right, so the chicken's been in now for about another 25 minutes. I'm just going to take it out. The sauce has reduced a bit, but what I think I'm going to do, you can serve this like this, no problem, but I like my sauce just a little bit more reduced. So I'm going to take the chicken out and I'm just going to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pop this on the gas just for about sort of 5 minutes or so, just to reduce that liquid down just a little bit more because it's just still a little bit too runny for me. Okay, right, so I had this sauce on just on a vigorous heat just for about sort of 3 to 5 minutes, and that's just reduced down nicely. Just going to give it a taste. Delicious. So we'll serve some of this up and we'll give it a taste. Right, let's serve some of this up, get a couple of those nice chicken pieces, some of those delicious soft fudgy potatoes. What are some of those? Reduced confit tomatoes. Okay, and then you just want to nap over some of that sauce. Get some of that over there. And there we go. Okay, yeah, it's no Michelin star presentation, but you get the idea. Yeah, so that is a meal fit for a king, all in one pan, no mess. All you got to do is wash that pan up at the end of it. So how easy is that? So let's have a taste. I'm gonna have to do this down here, folks, because there's no way I'm gonna be able to hold that plate up with my face in front of the camera. So I'm gonna have to do it kind of off camera here. So let's have a try. Chicken is moist and that sauce is amazing. And I've had no effort with that at all. It's all created its own sauce. Did it all by itself pretty much. So that is an absolute winner. I think so anyway. Well, that's pretty easy to put together, so I thought So yeah, that's it, today's recipe. As you can see, nice and simple. Just throw it in the oven. Great family dish. It's cooked in sort of 40-50 minutes on the table. You've got pretty much one pan to wash up and a few plates, and that's it. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I've got Twitter, Facebook, all that gubbins. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.